Hello, and thank you so much for joining us on the Mama Rose Show with your host, Mama Rose. We're so excited today because I've got two fabulous filmmakers that have joined me, Joardinger and Rosalie Miller of the film Personhood, a very important film. Ladies, how are you doing?
Great to be here.
Of course, we've been facing so many different things going on in the world, during the pandemic and the fires out west and all this dreadful stuff that we've got to deal with. How have you been handling all this?
I sound a little bit like a broken record, but I finally have childcare. So for me, that's been a bit of a relief because like so many parents right now, I've been working, with my little one around for the last 5 to 6 months. So that recently happened and, it's scary, but it's also a relief too. But yeah, I think it's just hard on a lot of fronts, for everyone. And depending on your life circumstances and where you are, it varies. I think a lot of us find it hard to focus. There's just so much going on at all times. And so how do we focus and and just keep our sanity?
I decided to use the pandemic as a good reason to learn guitar. So I've become obsessed with the guitar and playing that every day and trying to do some of those personal things for myself that, I really didn't have bandwidth or time to do while we were finishing up Personhood. So it's been nice. Took up some painting and all of that and had a little break from all the hubbub, and now work is kind of getting rolling again. So getting back in the groove of things.
Personhood. Please tell our viewers, what is Personhood? I'm in love with this film.
Personhood is a film that looks at a pretty unknown issue of the criminalization and policing of pregnant people in America. And we look at that issue through the eyes of a Wisconsin woman who was put in jail after seeking prenatal care, and her fetus got an attorney and she didn't. And there's a whole bunch of circumstances in her story that seem beyond belief. And we kind of lay out that story and kind of focus our lens on that issue. And one of the things we've really discovered is that not many people do know about this issue, and audiences, when we had the joy of sitting with audiences and hearing their reactions, it was really incredible because the film is resonating with people. It changed a little bit after everything closed down. We can't be in the living rooms with our viewers at various online film festivals. And so I'm speaking for Rosalie here too, but we were both so grateful that we had that experience.
You debuted the film at Doc NYC in 2019, and was this exciting for you?
It was exciting. I think when, you've worked on a project for years and years and years. I mean, Joe and I have withstood one another and been together very closely on this, for like 6 or 7 years. So I think when that time comes, it's very validating, and it's not just validating for us and our team, but some of our participants and experts in the film were actually able to come out and participate in our Q&A. So it was just, New York felt like the perfect place to do it, because of some of our partners out there as well. But yeah, it was like beautiful and exhausting and exciting and all the things all in one.
As you're making the film, you don't really have a picture of what that first time that you show it to the audience will be. You don't know what it'll feel like. And, I was surrounded, my family's from the East Coast, so I was so fortunate to be surrounded by several family members and having them in the audience and having my silly brothers stand up at the end and say, "Good film, great film." And
it was so sweet though. It was so heartwarming. Like, those are the things that you get right from that audience, that energy. So I miss that.
Since this, you have been awarded the highest, in my opinion, the Silver Gavel Award from the American Bar Association. Huge, Huge. What does this mean to you?
And I said this to Rosalie, I've said this to a couple people, this actually felt like getting an Oscar, kind of like the nerd version of an Oscar, because it's for films that help Americans understand jurisprudence and the legal system and what's happening. So for, to set out to make a film like that, and then to have that recognition was kind of mind-blowing. And I'm just, really proud of our team and all the effort we put into it, and it was all really worth it because it was recognized in this important way. And so it's very exciting, and it's quite a heavy thing, the Silver Gavel. So it feels very weighty and nice, and it's a nice trophy to have.
And I feel like an award like the Silver Gavel for a film like this just further validates for me as a producer that, like, we did the job that we set out to do with this film, and that we want it to be a tool within this space for organizations and individuals. And so I think to have that kind of recognition just validates that part of it for us, because one of the big parts is that we want this film to be used for educational distribution, and in a kind of a multifaceted way. And I know we can talk about that in a moment, but yeah, it's validating in that regard, and how it impacts our distribution and our educational component, which is a big piece.
How is Tammy doing during all this time?
Tammy is, she has been navigating the long-term effects of what happened to her in an incredible way, just focusing on her family. Harmonious is this incredibly bright, amazing boy now who's starting school, and we talk on the phone. He's extremely sweet and kind, and Tammy's continuing to do her artwork, and it's been a privilege to be a part of their family since, first meeting her when we first started filming through this time. It's really been a privilege to see their family grow. So I'm glad I'm still a part of their lives.
We have heard, and a little exclusive here, that Personhood is gaining extensive traction with educational distribution. Totally on board with this. Tell us what's going on.
This is exclusive. We have not announced it yet. So part of the rollout of the film and our distribution plan is that educational component. So we recently partnered with Collective Eye. They are an educational distributor based out of Portland, Oregon, and our official release, if you want to call it that, our official release is September 24th, and it'll be available on a digital platform called Canopy for institutions, educational institutions like universities and colleges. So that's kind of the first step of our educational piece of distribution, and that includes a focused impact campaign and our outreach, which is now most of it is virtual.
It was without fail at every single screening. We were visited after the Q&A by someone who was either a student or an educator asking us, how can they bring this film to their school or university? And that was so exciting because, there are all different kinds of films you make, and this one has this, real ability to be a learning tool. And so that was really exciting to find it was resonating. And then we've kept in touch with several of those people back and forth. When will it be available? And we haven't been able to tell them. And so I was finally able to connect someone who had emailed at least 3 or 4 times last week to our distributor, and they got set up with their school university library. So that's really exciting. To know that it's going to be in libraries, and students will be able to take this course. And we're also, one thing I love about our distributor is that they also are focusing on some impact screenings. And so we're right now designing an impact screening tour where we'll be going to Wisconsin, back to the scene of the crime, if you will. And we're going to try to bring attention to Act 292, which is the law that is still being enforced despite Tammy's constitutional challenge to it. So we're hoping to really raise the alarm there in Wisconsin and let people understand that it's still being applied, because I did some digging and looked in their statistics. And at the end of 2018, another few thousand women had gotten ensnared in this law. And, you know, then several hundred of those were referred for further action. And, you know, we'll never actually know the outcomes of those because it's all done in secret. And so we want to go there and kind of scream from the rooftops about this. And we're going to be screening in Wisconsin soon at a film festival, and that'll be the very first of our impact screenings there.
Where can our viewers follow your incredible work?
They can come to our website, which is www.personhooddoc.com, and we are updating our screenings. We're actually in the middle of redesigning our website, so we're kind of in transition there. But we've posted about our screenings there. We also have, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at personhooddoc.com.
We are getting ready to actually have our hometown premiere, which is super cool. So it's our Washington, virtual premiere, but also our Seattle premiere at the Social Justice Film Festival and Institute. It will be available for streaming October 1st through the 11th. And then we are going to have our Oregon virtual premiere at the Bend Film Festival, which will start shortly thereafter. I don't know those exact dates, but I think it's like October 8th through the 25th. So yeah, those are just a couple opportunities coming up that people can see the film virtually.
Ladies and gentlemen, I promise that you will love this film as much as I did. You might have to bring a box of tissues, but you need to see this film because it tells a story that everybody needs to see. And I want to thank our wonderful guests this week, Joe and Rosalie, with their film Personhood. The best of luck going forward with everything, regardless of what's going on in the world. Keep fighting. Do it. You're fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And vote. Everyone must vote in every single election, because that's where these laws are made, in the legislatures. It matters who your attorney general is. It matters who's in your state legislature. So, broken record, get out there and vote like the women in your life that you love. Their lives really depend on it.
Support women and women of color candidates too, because they're really going to be the ones that are going to push the kind of issues that are impacting policies that impact women's lives and families' lives.